Ankit, we keep hearing that AI is really transforming the way financial services businesses need to operate. And really, they need to focus on how they scale successfully in a responsible way. But most firms really feel that they're stuck in this pilot mode. Why do you think that is?
That's a great question, Mel. Our transformation index shows that many financial services are launching AI use cases that never really scale. From our survey, we have seen only 33% organizations see it as strategic investment, and they're treating AI as a side project. And I think there are mainly three reasons for that. The first one is the leadership and culture. So AI is often treated as a side project, which is led by innovation team or technology teams, but not really owned by business. Second one is lack of business agility. And by that, I mean organizations still have traditional structures. So that's very difficult to manage innovation along with the governance and the risk controls, which financial services really demand. And third one is regulatory uncertainty. AI regulations are growing globally. They're evolving really fast. And many firms are struggling to really interpret what the requirements are and how they should implement, which is applicable for them.
So with all those challenges, what do you feel is the fix?
I think it all really starts from the operating model. What's your operating model to enable that responsible AI adoption and at scale? So it's not just about tech delivery. And to make it practical, there are three main areas where financial services firms can really focus on. The first one is business strategy. So AI must be part of your corporate strategy or your digital strategy. For example, what outcomes do financial services want to achieve? Because there's a really big difference between everyday AI productivity versus a game-changing AI innovation. And the operating model needs to reflect that. The organizations have to align their investments, their governance to the business priorities and not just for the experimentation sake of it. The second point which organizations have to think about in their operating model is reimagining processes. So based on our research, most organizations are still bolting AI onto their existing workflows just to prove AI, they have started adopting AI. And in my point of view, that's not really transformation. You have to really redesign the process itself, how the work gets done, what data are you using, how decisions are made to really embed AI and change properly for the. And lastly, it's the people and culture. Believe it or not, the biggest blocker in AI adoption is not tech, it's the culture. And many firms already have AI tools like Copilots, for example, but the adoption is very slow. So creating a culture of innovation is absolutely critical. Identify your early adopters and empower them as champions and keep your experimentation safe. And that's how I think you can shift from curiosity to confidence at scale.
That's great, Ankit. Thank you so much. And given we're talking about a financial services context here, I imagine regulation also plays a really big role here too.
I agree. And especially in financial services where transparency and fairness for your customers are non-negotiable, a responsible AI framework isn't just nice to have, it's absolutely essential. Through our survey, we have found there are 36% of insurance leaders who say they are evolving AI too fast to keep up with the governance that really needed for that AI. And some key components to consider as part of a responsible AI framework are, the first one is having responsible AI is defined properly that align with both the organizational values as well as the regulatory expectations. Second one is having a central repository of your AI systems, which are currently in business operations. It's a good practice to understand what AI is being used across the organizations. Third one, I think, is improving your data governance. Most organizations have data governance, but I think they have to tailor it and empower it to be more for AI-specific use cases, understanding data quality, data lineage. And the fourth thing, which I think is absolutely critical, is having a right accountability and assurance for all the stakeholders. And not just for the top leaders, but starting from the board level to the business users across the value chain.
And so going back to one of your first points, it's really just not about the tech here. It's how the business is set up to support and to deliver success.
Exactly. And the real value comes from when you've moved beyond the traditional delivery model to rethinking your governance, rethinking your processes, the funding, the partnerships, and how the accountability and the decisions are getting made. So it's about building an AI operating model that's agile, that's compliant, and it's ready to scale.
So thinking really practically now, How can financial services leaders start making changes tomorrow?
So in my view, I think there are three things which they can do. The first one is start mapping your AI ambitions to your business outcomes. Don't start with the tech. There's a lot of FOMO out there. Start with the value first. Set up cross-functional AI task force, so bringing together different business functions such as risk, technology, operations, and business to align on the priorities and to make that end-to-end governance work. And lastly, it's defining the responsible AI principles, ensuring everybody understands what they mean. Even if you're at early stage, the tone has to be set what AI and responsible AI means.
Thanks for joining the conversation. We will be back in episode 2, where we will dive into how AI is reinventing personalization in financial services and why your operating model needs to keep up. Don't miss it.